Farooq, are we live? I can't hear you.
Yeah, yeah, we
And
are live.
but my YouTube isn't loading. I have the stream here. It's still not playing.
It's playing on my side. I can
Oh,
see
is
it.
it?
Yeah, I
Uh,
checked it.
I'm gonna check again. Oh, it's live. Okay, right. Shall I begin?
Yes, sir.
Hola, Madridistas. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast. We are here today with the Rayo preview, but there's more pressing matters at hand. I don't think I'm the best person to speak about it because I have very harsh views on racism and how it's dealt with, and how these things never surprise me. Maybe I'm just to dead inside probably, because nothing phases me anymore. Because I've seen this happen all throughout my life, um, other people's lives, in different walks of life, whether it be work, um, school, anything, man. So racism, yeah, we can educate the people, but in my humble opinion, you can't eradicate it from the society because it is never going to go away. 100%. That's what I believe in. Um, but yeah, on that is a sad part of the thing. But I'm very happy to be here with Farooq again, man. He's a bit sleepy, so yeah, apologies for him rambling beforehand. But tell me, bro, what's good?
Yeah, man. Honestly, as you said, whenever you think about the games, at least since the Valencia game, whenever you think about football, man, it brings you back always to that really just honestly, and
Mm,
we always look forward to this preview. I mean, we mostly do it with Jacob, so we always look forward to this preview, and so we can talk football and what is not. Well, I mean, as we said before, going on, it's just a very very sad and disturbing thing to talk about, and especially given that we're non-white people as well, we're people of color as well, so we kind of understand, we kind of, as you said rightly, like the thing is that any person you ask, any non-white person you've asked who
yeah,
comes from where we came from, you understand, who lives in a predominantly white place, will tell you one or two horrific stories. You understand?
yeah.
And when I mean horrific story, I don't mean, the daily thing like you're a monkey or like I'm not talking to you or shit like this. Like
Yeah,
really, really horrific stories.
racism in its essence is subtle. It's never in your face. Like stuff like Vinicius, yeah, like it is very in your face. But what we common men and women face in day-to-day lives is much more subtle. That's what I think.
That, I mean, definitely. I mean, you can ask. That's a good thing about because we
Mm.
have a very diverse panel. You can see like from every walk of life and living in different parts of the world. And I'm sure like if I ask Jacob or you do like about this, it's gonna be something different. If I ask Doris about the Balkans and what it is, it's something different. And she was even alluding to that. Like Doris is a white person from Croatia, but you know she was alluding to the fact that there are some places that she would go to, even in Europe, that she would be treated differently. You understand? Let's not forget like the whole gypsy things that about the guy.
Yeah,
So it's
even in
always
Croatia, when she
yeah.
said, even in Croatia, when the population is 99% white, are you 100% sure the other 1% doesn't get discriminated? I guarantee you, bro, they are discriminated. Have you seen a black person ever play for Croatia? No, it's
I
not
mean,
gonna
I mean,
happen.
I
It's
mean,
not
tonight you don't
gonna
even need to
happen.
go to you don't even need to
Not gonna
go that
happen.
far. I know about this, for example, in India, for example, people who have more whiter skin are more, okay, we're all guys here. Let's give example with girls. Like girls who have lighter skin are more preferred than girls who have darker skins, for example. I know this because my friends have told me, and also they always, we always have they and this is the thing. And also like when you're I have a cousin who studied in India actually, and he told me like honestly like if you're
Mm,
I think it's from the south. I'm not sure if it's South Indian that has darker people more. I'm not exactly.
yeah, yeah.
So
It's
he
from
was
my
like,
part. Yeah,
when you're a southern person, like they almost treat you like a second class person. Like, okay, yeah, this is just
mm.
part of the thing. So I'm just giving an example in like
Fuck,
even
man.
in
Now that
your
I look back,
hometown.
Yeah.
Like this is what happens, So what are you expecting, in a
No,
predominantly
something
white
occurred to
place?
me. Now that I look back,
Yeah.
all my exes were pretty fair. So am I racist? I
Well,
don't know. I, I don't know, man. Maybe I, cherry picked the lighter ones. I don't know. I may have done some wrong in my past life, but it is what it is. But I get you, man. This is very evident, even if go into more detail about how people marry and look for a particular partner and whatnot. I don't want to get into all that, but still, like that is a very normal thing to stumble upon in a stage in your life. Yeah, but leave that out. Workplace racism is a common thing. Nobody puts up banners. I have not seen one single advert here against racism. Nothing. Like I said couple of days before on the chat. Canada as a country, they claim to be multicultural, but like their people are anything but. So when you look into Spain, where there's a strong case for deep rooted racism, like from generations and generations before this one, you really can't do anything. Honestly, you can't really do anything, man. Like what amount of awareness is going to help the people? I don't understand. Like even after all this campaigns going on, people are going to care more about the
sorry,
LGBTQ.
sorry. Let me just interrupt you there, because you're saying about campaigns. There is
Yeah.
something that happened actually, Sunil. In the WhatsApp group, you were talking about, okay, like you people should go and read about, like, there was some back and forth in the group and what is and what is not. And honestly, for me, I have met maybe just 2 or 3 Spaniards in my life, and even 2 of them were Real Madrid fans that we just talk about football and not, and we, disperse. So like, I wouldn't say I have, exposure to what the Spanish culture looks like. I just, I've always watched Real Madrid and what is not.
Not
But after
everybody
you
is
wrote,
racist.
definitely, of course. Well, I mean, we're not stupid to classify everyone as a racist, you understand? But after
Yeah.
you were saying, like, go and read about Spain and see the history of that. I haven't gone and read about Spain, but what I have gone to read about is incidents of what happens in Spain and how these are being perceived. You understand? In Spain, I don't know how, honestly, I find it so surprising. Maybe it might be the same in other places as well. But in Spain, they consider a racist insult. Sorry, they consider racism as insult. How is racism insult? And this is actually why I interrupted you there, is that because you were talking about campaigns. For me to campaign against something, firstly, I have to believe that this is wrong.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I kind of believe that there is a culture in Spain that is so ingrained in the whole system that they believe that they're not okay. The thing is that, something can happen in the sense that you might say something just in terms of a joke, not a joke, as an insult, because you want to get under the skin of the other person. But intricately, you might not be racist. You understand? But the point is that they don't understand that the words that they're saying has so much power to it. So much power.
Ultimately, that's what it comes down, because they well and clearly know that a racist slur is going to wind someone up. So as long as competitive sports remain, I'm 100% sure. I'm willing to put my life on the line. Yeah, like we are doing this live. I'm willing to put my life on the line, because this thing, like people are going to get arrested and whatnot. But honestly, in my opinion, away fans are going to do the same thing. Our fans are going to do the same thing when we go away, or like I've read countless stuff about Ousmane Dembele last year. How our fans kind of said some shit. But this is the thing, like as long as competitive sports remain and there is an edge to the proceedings, this is not going to go away, man, because all the away fans or rival fans are looking forward to is to get under someone's skin, rattle them up, throw them off their comfort zone. That is the end result. Even if you are in racist and you're surrounded by people who are actually chanting stuff, you're going to join in.
Actually,
that's
so
the
you're totally right, Sunil. That's the thing. Like,
mm,
even for
mm,
example, as Tebas was saying, like even
mm,
Cristiano once upon a time was being, exposed to homophobic slurs. You understand, in stadiums. You
mm.
understand. But the
Yeah.
thing is this: what I actually find so amusing is the fact that everyone seems to accept the fact that Vinicius is the provocator in this situation in Spain. Let me see, Sunil. See. There was a report from us about the game, and it
Mm,
was saying Vinicius caused a scandal because he was insulted.
mm.
So, like, see, like how they toned it. Vinicius caused the scandal,
Yeah.
and then there was this newspaper from Valencia. I don't remember the name right now. They had a big red hand. When you have a red hand, it means stop. Like in this
Yeah.
picture sign, they had a
Right.
big red hand. But you know
Yeah.
what the big red hand was saying is that
Mm.
Real Madrid is running a propaganda to paint Valencia people as racists. And then, Tebas crowns everything,
Mm,
with
mm,
his stupid and Teflon tweets about
mm.
what is
Yeah.
and what is not. But the
Yeah.
point is this, I don't know, but I've heard a lot of, I've read a lot, more about, because growing up and watching football, if you ask me like which country was racist, I would say to you Italy is.
Mm,
But I'm remembering now from the time I remember like the likes of Suleiman Tari and Eto playing for Inter, you understand?
mm,
Till now, there is the difference is light and day, bro.
mm,
Just last week or 2 weeks ago,
mm.
Juventus had to play with a part of the stadium closed because someone, insulted Lukaku on the pitch. The
Yeah.
stadium
Yeah.
was closed. Not
Yeah.
until you start hitting these people where it hurts. Where does it hurt?
Mm,
If you
mm,
partially close the stadium, they have to refund the money of the fans. Then the club is in trouble. Are you telling?
mm,
Okay. And do you know what Juventus' response to this was?
mm.
Juventus now told their fans that they have facial recognition systems in the stadium. If anyone does any shit, you will be found out. See now, Juventus is doing something, not Inter. Lukaku is Inter's player, no, not Inter. Now Juve is doing something. Why? Because they've been hit where it hurts the most, where the money is. Blow closing the whole stand, man. Like that's 1/4 of the stadium, man. When you hit them where it hurts, shit would happen. Obviously, I'm not saying like, yeah, this will change the whole culture in Italy, or it will change the whole culture in Spain, or in the UK, or in US, or in Canada, or here in Turkey. No. But the point is that at least in the football pitch, on the football pitch in the stadium, you can try to reduce it as much as possible.
Mm. Yeah.
But what's going on in Spain? It's like, oh yeah, we have 9 charges. We reported 11 racist incidents this season. 9 of them were against Vinicius Junior. And Tebas was proudly writing this in a tweet, and I'm thinking, like, is this guy really like? Does he read the tweet here right? Like, how does he think? Like, he's proudly writing 9 of them were against Vinicius.
That fucker had the audacity to actually claim that Vinicius never turned up for some briefings or something.
Yeah,
Is
of
he
course. That
out
that,
of
that,
his
that was
fucking
that,
mind?
that that was the blame game he was playing. Like he was trying to play the blame game with Vini and putting Vinicius as the bad guy in the whole situation. And I
See,
was wow.
the thing with Tebas, Tebas is someone outside our domain. Yeah, like he runs the league and whatnot. But our fans, man, us as a club, yeah, like Farooq, do you honestly think that until Vinicius was literally in tears, like if it wasn't such a blown out of proportion thing yesterday, would you think that Real Madrid would actually file a case and whatnot? I don't think they would, man. In my humble opinion.
I totally agree with you. I've said this multiple times on this platform that the league has failed the club, has failed Vini, and more importantly, the club and his teammates have failed Vini. And even I was seeing photos yesterday, and I was so disgusted. Real Madrid and Perez actually has turned this into a photo op. Did you see what they were posting? They were posting video of Vinicius and Perez talking, with the tag being, oh, he's explaining to Vinicius how they're dealing with the race. So like they're trying to like portray a picture to the world that we support Vinicius, we're doing everything we can. He's our player, he's that. What the hell are these guys talking about? We know, everyone knows that Marca is Real Madrid's newspaper. Do you know on what page Vinicius' incident was? On the 12th page of Marca. On the 12th. Not one, not even 10, bro. Not 10. On the 12th. 12th. After 11 pages, you have to go to the 12th page. At least they can use the inference to, okay, I understand. Real Madrid won the EuroLeague, so it was a big deal for them. I totally agree. But at least, bro, on the second page, you can put Vini. So, like, all this Real Madrid doing this now, man. I always say this honestly, Sinead, like, I don't know, maybe our fans or I don't know, the YouTube people might find it somehow, but putting a white man to solve a black man problem, no. This is, I mean, it will never work. Never, ever. Never. Like,
who do you refer to as the white man? Our club, right?
of course, our club is the white man.
That's what I told you, man. We have some very, very dark sides to us as an institution. We love the club. We love the players. We love it is an institution that represents the game. But when you go into the socio-political side of things, I'm afraid, we have to look away, to say the least.
And the sad thing is that, people will always talk about this and that. Let's not forget, like, I don't know if you remember, there was an incident with, with Alves at Sevilla where he was playing for Barca. They went to, the Sanchez speed one, and he was thrown a banana, actually, where he picked it up, opened it, and, and he ate it. You understand?
I remember.
Samuel Eto'o has always complained about Spain, you understand? So this is the thing, like, it's not something that started today, but as you said, this is why actually I really, 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 loved what Vini did. He stood his ground and was like, no, this is not going to continue. The point is that I think maybe it's similar for your part of the world as also where you grew up from. Like, I was born in Nigeria and we grew up in Nigeria. And we have always been told that you have to work twice as hard to get half of what the white man has. So 100%. if he works for 5 hours a day, I have to work 10 hours a day to get half of his wage. This is the way we have been, we are literally being told, just shut up and work. This is the mantra at least any black person who goes out of West Africa would tell you the same thing. We have been given the same mantra of just shut up and work. This is why Eto'o was quiet. This is why, Alves for all of his stuff was okay, like, yeah, it's just part of the society. This is why people are quiet. But I'm so glad that Vini was like, no, enough is enough. We wouldn't just shut up and dribble. No, this has to stop. This has to, I'm saying to you, really, I'm saying to you, even if Italy can do this, Italy is doing this, why can't Spain do it? Why? Brazil also, I think last month or 2 months ago, brought out the rule that if you're found guilty, there's a chance of either from stadium closure to point deduction. Point deduction, bro. Imagine if Valencia were deducted 3 points yesterday. Relegation, bro. Segunda. Do you think they will try that shit again? Their fans will continue to try it, but the club will the club will put the utmost, it will be so difficult to try that shit. Even if you do it, the police is there to catch you immediately. So, like, unless you start to hit it where it matters, but the problem is that the people because the point is, we are like English people, we speak English. So the point is that we're always exposed to the English media. So what we listen to is people from Sky Sport, ESPN, BBC, you understand? But
they're much more subtle, not subtle, much more sensitive about the thing. But Spanish journalism.
Exactly. I saw a tweet from Guillem Balaguer. I think you know Guillem Balaguer, right? Like he's Spanish guy, he works for BBC. And do you know what the first line of the tweet was? Both Vinicius and Tebas are right. This was the first sentence of the tweet. And Guillem was someone that I've read his book. I was like, wow, man, I lost all my respect for this guy. Honestly. Not only the guys who are actually speaking some sense, like the Spanish guys, even they are not fully Spanish. It's Alex Kirkland. He's half Spanish, I think half British, There is Sid Lowe. There's other guy, they do the, Spanish football podcast. Those are the only guys who actually are speaking some sense. And when you look at those guys, they've been away from the Spanish, whole Spanish thing. But when you go and see, the Spanish media, you see, as I said, either it's as is painting Vinicius, as you know, the scandalist, the other Valencia one is painting Real Madrid has a propaganda machine trying to build something. I don't know, man. It's so sad if this is how it's gonna continue, man. I don't know.
The Spanish bubble, bro, that's why when the first occurrence, was it this season? I'm pretty sure it was this season when it started, Vinicius started getting, super affected. And remember my responses, man. Do you remember, Farooq, how
Yeah, I remember
How,
you were talking about how we deal
yeah,
with bullies. We have to just, let them go and then they will ease out themselves, something like that.
yeah, because I knew for a fact this is not going to stop, man. That's the only reason people thought, oh, I'm taking racism lightly, not making a big deal out of it. For me, I've seen great players, you know, fight through this. This is a real world problem which is never going away. No matter what the repercussions are, yeah, points deduction, whatnot, yeah, what UA did is a very good thing. And I'm pretty sure that, it's going to, like clamp down on the perpetrators and like reduce the number of occurrences of racism within the football pitch. But it's truly never going away. That's why I was begging and pleading to Vinicius. You got to man up. Um, so I actually have to respond to a particular comment from one of our subscribers. Yeah, but let's just start from the beginning. Dennis says, nice to see you again, man. Dennis, he says, as a black man that grew up in Madrid, I just want this racism to stop, especially in the large cities in Spain. Spain has deep-rooted racism. Like, nobody can deny that. Every Spaniard that I've talked to has denied it. The managers who work in Spain, Simeone came out earlier and said, Spain is not a racist country. You can lie, man. You can lie as much as you want.
But actually, Sunail, I think it's gonna be unfair, to just sit down and paint Spain as racist. I think maybe Dennis can also maybe drop in a comment and he will provide something a better insight.
Spain is racist doesn't mean 100% of the people are racist. But I'm telling you, bro, just general stuff, way of life in Spain has racism. I've heard from all if I'm not mistaken, Spain has a large number of Middle Eastern descents. Is it Algerian descent? I'm not pretty sure, but they have a large section of. So
actually,
those guys
I think
used
it might be
Morocco.
People from Morocco and Tunisia.
100%, yeah, Moroccan, yeah. So I've heard Moroccan people get discriminated from when I was like 15, 16. I used to know it was a normal thing. It was a normal thing, man. They don't consider these guys as Spaniards, like, even though they have citizenship and have been, like, born there, they are not truly actually Spanish. Ozil's case, when he loses, he's Turkish, man. Like, this stuff is never going away, man. I'm telling you. Tas Aliva says, Dennis, is there? He was asking Dennis. He was basically replying to Tas Aliva that, yes, I lived there most of my childhood, then moved to England at 11, but he doesn't go on to say the level of racism that exists in Spain. Yeah, Dennis, if you have inside info, let us know, man. Let us know how Spain works from a guy who grew up there. Tas Aliva says, because I live in Eastern Europe and racism is even a normal thing here. The N word is a normal thing. It is indeed a normal thing. That's why
Sunaid, can I say something, please? Yeah. So this is the thing, actually. This is what I've said, about what I told. That's why I told you something. After, like, I went through a lot of, Spanish, a lot of incidents and how the Spaniards react to it. I kind of start to genuinely believe that, similar to what Tasariwa is saying here, is that these guys don't actually know that they've been racist. I don't know if that makes sense, in the sense that they just consider, like, me shouting what they were shouting to Vinicius as just being a normal thing. It's just like me saying, oh, Sunaid is stupid. You understand? I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe being, a white-centric country, like, gives that, especially as he said, like, in Eastern Europe, like, it's predominantly 99% are white people, you understand there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know, like, I kind of find difficult to put into words, but this is the kind of perception that I actually have developed from, the game till now, is that these people might not know that, they're being racist. Like, I mean, what I'm trying to say here is that this guy who is saying this, you understand, you might meet him and you guys will become best friends and he will, never make you feel inferior because of your color, but he will say things that, he just feels like he's just, being insulting and trying to get under your skin. I don't know if that makes any sense or not.
If he's a 12-year-old and he's basically going off by what he is hearing cool people do, which I've done, which you have done, which every one of us has done, it is okay. But if you're someone of age, 18 plus, 15 plus, who knows differentiate between fire and water, how the world works, I'm not sure when you say that, like, these guys don't know what the meaning of a slur isn't and whatnot. So I'm pretty sure they're very well aware what it means. I'm 100% sure, bro. Like you can't just say that everybody basically does it, uses the racial slurs, just like, hey, like stupid or idiot or shit like that. I'm pretty sure they're well aware of what they're saying, man. I'm pretty sure, bro. Pretty sure.
Honestly, like I'm just a bit confused about that because what I see is like, there's a lot of that kind of, the wording are almost similar from everyone because
See,
the wording
Farooq.
that, the guys use is almost similar from all the way they, phrase the things. So I kind of feel like they don't understand the context of what those things
The
mean
majority,
for people who came from where they came from.
The majority of see, you take any nation, any city, any big town, any big state, yeah, the majority is always going to have something to say about the minority. It is always persistent, man. Like it doesn't go away. All go to Muslims. Like if you have heard.
Yeah. The Chinese
Pakistan is a Muslim country, but there is a very huge community of Christians. Nobody hears about anything to do with Christianity in Pakistan. Christian people in Pakistan, they don't get selected for the national team. They don't get any social welfare benefits. They don't get government jobs. None of this shit, man. So racism, whether it's regarding color, caste, anything, it's never going away. That's just my, that's just my opinion. Hassan was saying another 90 minutes of Ancelotti ball. I'm just looking forward to some individual performances. Yeah, man. Basically, the season is done and out. But we are just here, supporting our team, man, because we can't refrain from watching the games. Like I can't, at least personally. Hassan also says points deduction, big fine, and a ban. Fans both home and away for a set amount. Yeah, banning fans both home and away for a set amount. Yeah, man. Maybe those kind of big decisions might do a thing or two. But I'm pretty sure, despite all this, even if facial recognition is within the stadium, in the heat of the moment, someone is going to shout that out and eventually get, prosecuted. But I don't think it's going away. XJ is here. Nice to see you, XJ. He says, new subscriber. Appreciate your content and the conversation. Yeah, that's humbling words right there, XJ. Thank you so much, man. Also, guys, do smash the like. And yeah, man, we are on the road to 1K. Do help us out, man. Any love is appreciated. Hassan says, Benzema, by the way, Mr. Hermanito. What a captain. Yeah. If you want to start off the debate regarding how our players responded, you know my take, right? What I said in the chat, I see it differently, and I've said this on multiple occasions. Benzema is not exactly a leader. He's not. I've said this before on other shit, and people have responded to me saying that, oh, you know what? Do you remember Benzema? Talking to our teammates, at Anfield when we are 2-0 down and we came back and whatnot. Bro, in my humble opinion, he is not a true leader, because in my book, leaders have a very, very high standard. And Benzema as a leader, he's not just leader material, in my opinion. But Farooq, man, break it down for us, man. Modric, Kroos, Thibaut, so many guys were on the situation, and only Eder Militao and Tchouaméni, if I'm not mistaken, was close to Vinicius and kind of calming him down.
Lucas was the prime guy, actually. Lucas,
yeah, Vasquez, yeah.
Lucas was the MVP, in my opinion, of the whole team, man. Honestly, like, I mean, and I told you this, honestly, I'm not looking for people like Ramos or the Maldinis or whatever they are. No, we're just looking for simple human beings. Toni Kroos was fucking holding the ball, waiting to play a free kick, and that was happening. He was literally just waiting for the ref to blow so he can continue playing. Like, it's just another episode, It's just.
Can I interrupt you and regarding the Kroos thing, yeah? Because Kroos came out after, since when the racial stuff started going and getting a bit out of control. He was asked in the press conference, and what he basically said was, regarding the whole Vinicius situation, what he basically said was, you know what, like, I like Vinicius. He's a very very determined, professional. Like he puts everything into a game. He does what needs to be done at the right moment. But my only thing is, I wish he was a lot more calmer when dealing with stuff. What that tells you is someone who knows very well how racism works. He's from Germany, right? He knows. He knows even in Germany, it is like all throughout history, we know how Germany has dealt racism. So he's someone who is well aware. My point of view is I'm going to reiterate what I told you guys in the chat. Some of those guys are like, you know what? We need wake up to what the world is, because we all know how these things go. If we start giving into it, they're going to get to you again, and they won't stop. But what Vinicius did, and basically making it a big issue, I think it's going to help the case of racism, getting completely pushed out of the game and whatnot. But some of those guys might think, Vinicius, I hope you know the reality. I hope you mature up. I think that is their point of view. But for us watching on the TV screen, we expected a little more, chest from our big players. Maybe asking the ref for an explanation, asking the players to walk off. That is something they could have done, which they didn't. And I'm ashamed to say that. They are legends, and sometimes when you need someone with a little more cojones in a situation like this, they didn't show up, man. Unfortunately.
I mean, the point is, you're talking about Toni Kroos, who is the very definition of what a white man looks like. He has blue eyes and a blonde hair, man. He's a very. I mean, the point is, if I think actually what Toni Kroos might be referring to, I don't know, like we're just borrowing his words, is that what he might be referring to was, I don't know if you remember, like there was at the beginning of the season, there was the situations with literally every we had the Pepe Reina's, we had I can't recall, like there was an instance also with a team, I can't remember which team, like, so they were fighting with the defenders always, like he was fighting with the defenders, the bench, the goalkeepers, whatever. So I guess maybe that was what he was talking about. But if Toni Kroos is talking about racism, like, he has no right to talk about racism, because the point is, he doesn't know jack shit. He's the most white person you can ever find. Like, define a white person. This is the drawing of Toni Kroos was gonna be something to you. So he's coming from a position of privilege and talking about all this. But what I'm just saying here is that we have 11 players on the pitch. Vinicius is crying on the pitch. Who is there consoling Vinicius?
Nobody.
Jose Luis Gaya, the captain of fucking Valencia. I don't know if you saw the footage of Vinicius actually crying on the pitch. Yeah, and Gaya was, trying to calm him down. And why should Gaya be the one calming him down? We have 11 players on the pitch, actually 10 outside of Vinicius. 10 players. Kroos has the ball waiting for a free kick to be taken. Benzema is there waiting for a ball that's not going to come to him. Wow, I mean, it's sad. And Thibaut comes and types, "Oh, if Vini wanted to leave the pitch, I would have left with him." Where were you when shit was happening on the pitch? It's easy to be keyboard warriors. It is easy to be keyboard warriors, honestly. And I understand the fact that, Ancelotti was saying that he asked Vini if he wanted to go, and he would have gone. But he's talking about removing Vini from the game. He's not talking about removing his players from the game.
But Carlo, he has seen.
The thing is this.
Yeah.
He has seen this, but what Carlo has said is this. When he was coaching Napoli, there was an incident in Lazio. I think I mentioned that before. There was an incident in Lazio where they were chanting towards Koulibaly. And he came out after the game. He said he made a mistake. And he has learned from that. Anytime there is a racist chant towards any of his players, he walks off the pitch. This is what he said. I think it's like 4 years ago now. Now, why are you asking Vinicius if he wants to play? As I've said, we that come from this parts of the world, look in the way we look like. We have always been told, you have to work twice as hard to get half of what the white man has. So Vini also, he's working on that same mentality. He wants to continue playing, obviously. You shouldn't remove Vini from the pitch. You should remove your 11 players from the pitch. You shouldn't leave that choice to Vinicius Junior on the pitch. Yeah, credit to, like, at least he tried to, do whatever it is he can do. And you could see that Carlo was so angry. Even at the press conference, like, I admit, since he's come to Madrid and all the press conference I have seen, I have never seen him that angry, because he was doubling down. I don't know if you saw the press conference, like, someone asked him about the game. He was like, they lost and something like that. And his first response was, is that what you want to talk about? Like, his face was tomato red. You understand?
I
But
didn't see it. I didn't see it.
he was so pissed, man. But the thing is, forget about Toni Kroos. Forget about Luka Modric. Benzema has faced these issues all his life
All
in
his
France.
life, yeah.
We know it's well documented about the fact that today he's good, he's French. The next day he's Algerian.
Yeah.
He won the Ballon d'Or all of a sudden.
All those guys.
So I mean, that's the thing. Like, if Benz has faced this all his life, at least be there to console Vini. Okay, forget about walking off the pitch. Forget about whatever it is.
Yeah, that's the thing. Forget about fighting back, right?
Exactly.
But just put your arm around his shoulder, man. The least you can do, right? Like, he's 23. He's not 35. Bro, I know how I was when I was 23.
You don't have to have a sleeve, bro. You don't have to have a sleeve that shows you're a captain. You just have to have a heart 100%. And a brain. Just 100%. A heart and a brain, and you can see.
Yeah.
Gaia is a fucking white man who is Spanish as well.
What Vasquez? Definition.
Vasquez is a white man who is exactly. These are people that when you define white people, they show up. But they understand what it is, what it meant to Vinicius. But our players cannot. And they come out and type, "Oh, if he wants to work, I will work." I'm sorry, like,
bro. What do you expect, man? What do you expect? Like, we played English opposition how many times in the past couple of years? Chelsea twice. That makes it 4 games in total against Chelsea. Liverpool 3 games against Liverpool. That is 7. Who else? City 4 games. That means 11 games that I can remember off the top of my head. 11 times where opposition teams took the knee. We never took the knee once. So what do you expect, man?
No. I mean, taking the knee. No, bro. Taking the knee is something different. I mean, even you can look like, for example, Zaha in the Premier League. Like, there are certain black players in the Premier League who don't take the knee as well. It depends on just what you think about it or what you don't think about it.
But I'm just emphasizing my notion that our club instructs the players to not get involved in any of this shit. So
I get you, Sunaid. That's why I said to you, forget about getting involved in any of this.
Yeah.
Why isn't no one going to Vini and calming him down? Why does it have to be Gaia? Why does it have to be Carlo Ancelotti? You have 10 players on the pitch. What are they doing? Why? And and I don't know why, but they also were bringing this yesterday. I think the commentators were bringing something up. I don't know, but I found it absurd. After the game the other day, and they were saying that we don't see this behavior from Vini in the Champions League. And if I had a microphone to talk to him, I was like, okay, yeah. Do you see the bromance between Rhys James and Vini? Do you see how Kyle Walker is fanboying over Vini, although Vini tried to rainbow flick him in the game? If this was Spain, they would punch him till death. Try to rainbow flick me, he will leave the ball and start fighting you. So these are the things, like, when your players are doing this, and the players he plays against in the Champions League are doing something different, what do you expect? What do you expect?
Let me reason with you that this won't be a very satisfactory answer, but in my opinion, La Liga teams that we come up against are much further down the pecking order. They're coming up against a juggernaut, so they'll do anything to get under, Vinicius' skin and get an upper hand. Teams like Chelsea, teams like City, they're elite super clubs, so they have a level of respect. Like, they know it is an even playing field. When we face someone like Valencia, who is basically battling for their very lives, it is different. The stakes are different. The mentality, the emotion involved is different, in my opinion. But that doesn't excuse them, for this kind of behavior, man. But we are over 30 minutes, and I think we should, touch upon the game for a bit before we kind of, bring this preview to an end. We have a few comments here that I would definitely like to get into, because this is a topic that, can't be brushed to the side anymore. I tried my best from my personal perspective to, just look away, because I know how life works. I know how the world works, like, it's not easy to swallow. So I tend to look away. That makes me feel better. But unfortunately, these guys don't give us a choice. Dennis the Great says, Spain is racist, bro. It's not just black people. I had a lot of Algerian and Moroccan friends, even one Dominican friend. The native Spanish kid will be racist. 100%. Mariano, he's Dominican, no, if I'm not mistaken. He might
Yep.
be he might be facing it, and I think his hairstyle is a response to it. Like fuck them, fuck those guys who laughed at me in high school. Look at my hairstyle, man. You watch my freaky hairstyle live on television from your fucking couches. Maybe. Deron Hunter says 15 points and 10-game ban for the fans should be the charges. If any fans are found guilty, hit their pockets hard, they would learn. Yeah, man. When money is when money is on the line, like people will act fast. If money was on the line regarding racism, it would be out of our system, out of our world, long ago. This world has seen widespread slavery, for centuries. Even back home, we are colored people, right? Like just because that I remember, I'm going to mention it. My ex used to be of a higher caste. Yeah, she was a Hindu, right? And she used to tell me people of the lower caste, when they used to come visit her place, they used to be handed out different dishes. They can't eat on the same plate. So you see, so this is very fucking normal, man. Racism. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. That's why nothing phases me. Unfortunately. XJ was saying, I'm black and from the UK. Maybe I've grown too cynical, but nothing much will change. Nothing that matters. Travel Europe and the racism is insidious, integral to the culture with Vinny always. That's what I tell you, man. Doris was asking. Doris was saying, like I'm not happy that you blame entire countries as racist. Look at what XJ says. Traveled Europe and the racism is insidious, integral to the culture. That's why I mentioned not everybody is a racist, but there is a reason why the whole of Europe has a notorious reputation for being severely racist. There is a reason. You ask Doris next time, go back into the chat and ask Doris, have you seen a black person around you? Have you seen a black person get somewhere where a Croat is preferred before them? She'll say yes. Telling you, man. Telling you. You guys can defend your country, your flags. Everybody is a faggot out there who runs nations, who dishes out rules. These guys are not human. Telling you, man. Absolutely not human. Dennis the Great says, I understand XJ. I have lived in England since 11. There's racism in England, but them Spaniards are more racist, bro. 100%. England, obviously they'll be racist. They ruled India, right? They know how to control colored people, yeah. But since the mass migration of because like places in Brentford, Birmingham, they're called mini Punjab. For a reason, because like half the population in the UK is Indian. So obviously they'll be a bit more educated and well read about the matter. Spain is a different animal. Dennis the Great says, man, I miss Pepe and Ramos. They would have stood up for Vinny like leaders. Yeah. I mean, they are basically our benchmarks for being a leader. But that's what I was telling the people in the chat as well. Farouk didn't ask for a Ramos figure in that situation, just basic humanity, which none of our players could show. Unfortunately, they were too cold. In some ways, I can relate to that because I've been in certain situations when I've been so disgusted that I've basically frozen in life in general. But yeah, man, we don't need Pepe and Ramos to deal with that. But I was telling the people in the chat, like those kind of characters, they're gone. They're just gone from the game. Like we won't get characters like that, unfortunately. Like they don't make guys like that anymore. Aaron Hunter says, La Liga president is so stupid. Benny doesn't need to meet you in a meeting to talk about what to do. He's a player, you're the president. He needs to see actions. Yeah, man, how the fuck is he going to turn up for a fucking briefing if there's nothing being done? Just mere fucking propaganda to shut people up. Like, we can see it if a guy who basically plays in the league, and let me repeat this here, Vinicius is the number one attraction in La Liga. Numero uno. Not your fucking Dembele, not Lewandowski, not Rafinha, but Vinicius fucking Junior is the number one guy in Spain. He is the Cristiano and the Messi of 2023 La Liga. So if he can't bring in a change, like why does he have to go to a fucking meeting when when he can read some books in the meantime. Hassan says if Lucas Vasquez was good enough to be a regular starter, I'd make him captain. He is captain material. We have seen this countless times, man. Lucas Vasquez, like we needn't even question his morals. XJ says, I hear you, Dennis. I was born in Scotland and lived in England during the 2010 World Cup. I was surrounded by classmates chanting England at me, just children. In Malaga, it was grown men and monkey noises. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. There is a reason. There is a reason why I say it. I have nothing against Spain. I once grew up like fantasizing about living in Spain, like being a season ticket holder. But there you go, man. Some things just won't go away. Daron Hunter says, one thing I've seen as well is players foul. We need to get him off his game, kick the ball on him after he gets the foul. That's their tactics. Yeah, we needn't talk about that anymore. Like that's basically I think even before rival coaches come out with a game plan to win the game, they'll say you gotta fucking kick the shit out of Vinicius. That's plan number one. That's at the very top of the the whiteboard. Tas Aliba says, had a German friend in Hassan was saying, you know what, even though I don't like GK's being captain, make Thibaut captain from next season. I don't know about that, I don't know. Tas Aliba says, had a German friend in uni. Tall, dark hair, looked to me like 100% German. Once we were watching Madrid and he goes, he looks like 150% German. Yeah, maybe he was talking about Cruz, I guess.
That's the thing. I actually realized that as well when he said that, because that's the thing, like, the guy looks 100% German, but you see Cruz and like, okay, this is more German than this guy as well. So
yeah. Like he's the prototype. Like if you're cloning a German, Cruz is your guy. Dennis the Great says, for a person that has lived in England and Spain has to punish people who use racial slurs in public. In England, if you say racial slurs in public, you'll get in trouble. But in Spain, no. Yeah, there you go. Dennis the Great says, yeah, man, my girlfriend is half German. She talks to me about racism in Germany as well. Still crazy as 2023, and this still happens. This is never going away, Dennis. Unfortunately. I don't take any pride in saying that, but I just know how the world... how the moon revolves, how the world is going to work. Simple as that. Dennis the Great was saying, for me, all European countries are racist, but for me, the most racist ones, Italy, Spain, France. There you go. They are repeated, they are notoriously repetitive offenders, like it's on news to me. XJ says, we need radical action rather than empty sound bites. But the priority of the league and the club is image and the money that comes from it, 100%. If you look down, if you look deep into our club as an institution, they know they got to satisfy a lot of white people. They got to answer to a lot of white people, whether it be at board level, whether it be the socios, whether it be fan clubs, peñas, you name it. They have to answer a lot of white people. So, man, I don't think, unless that footage came until that footage came out of Vinicius crying, I don't think the club even planned for, filing a case, man. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Real Madrid as an institution is a heritage site. Let's just say the Bernabeu is a heritage site in Spain. It is one of the most iconic spots in all of Europe, and it stands for white supremacy. Simple as that. For the white-collared people. It's as simple as that. It represents, Atleti represents the working class. What do we represent as a club? All throughout history, we represent the elite. Yeah. I'm not elite. Farouk is not elite, right? We are normal working class men, right? We are working class men, but we support the club for what it is on the pitch.
You're giving Raul some props. He's gonna come and ask us to join Atleti now, man.
No. Fuck Atleti. Right, fuck them, man. But yeah, man, Atleti represents the working class. So um you'll be hard pressed to find someone that says, oh, you know what, there is nothing shady about how Real Madrid deals with socio-political issues. There is a reason why we are so laid back regarding some of the stuff, whether it be pride related, whether it be racism related. We take a backseat for a reason, and we need to educate people about what that reason is. It seems Vinny knows this as well as you and me. Yeah, 100%. When XJ, this guy, he's not yet fully mature. He's only 23. Give it a couple of years. I was telling the boys in the chat, in a couple of years' time, this is not indictment on Vinny, yeah, but he'll tell you himself that he could have dealt with this situation better, not get so emotionally crestfallen because of these fuckers, man. Because you know what, deep inside, those assholes were smiling when this guy was crying. 100%, they were enjoying every bit of the moment. So I don't like Vinicius. Anybody who represents our club is like a brother, is like a son to me. So I don't want my brother being I don't want my brother's tears to be the reason someone's fucking happy. That's just the reason why I've been always telling Vinicius to, like, man, mature up, man. This is the world. Like, I'm happy that there has been an incident that like attracted the whole fucking world's attention, which is good. But I'm afraid nothing good is going to come of it. Daron Hunter, the president, doesn't even realize he's showing players like Mbappe, Jude, etc., to not come to this league, which is bad. Yeah, man. Jude Bellingham would be laughing watching this, man. Honestly, like I don't know what would be going through his mind. As much as Gavi is overrated, bastard. I should have said that. He'd be the first one next to Vinny every time. He'd be the first one next to Vinny every time. I don't understand that, Hassan. But Dennis is great, says La Liga don't want to protect Vinny. God forbid we lose Vinny. Less people will stop watching La Liga. Yeah, like everybody is basically crying out, that the league is dead. Like this enhances that reputation. That league is just, like going down the drain, man. This wasn't the league that we grew up watching, right, Farouk? This is nothing like that. This is a different product, right?
Definitely,
what has
man.
changed, bro?
I mean, a lot of change. Even the players have changed, man. Like right now, as the guy said, like we have, people pushing the likes of, Gavi and all those guys, ahead of everything and what is now. We used to watch a game that, was there was rivalry. It was heated rivalry, man. But we watched a game where people had backs of each other, man. I would not forget, like even when we had the peak derbies, we had players like Carlos Puyol, going and interceding, separating guys, and knowing that there's a limit to everything. You understand? We had people like Raul doing their thing, Casillas doing his thing. Well, I mean, now the game is just there. Like we're just sitting in the league where everyone just defends and
I used to feel attached to La Liga. Now I'm detached from La Liga. I watch La Liga for my club. I don't watch any other games. That is what the league has done to me. I used to be a guy. I'm not going to boast that I used to watch every fucking Elche versus Valladolid game, but I used to watch the bigger games. I used to watch the Seville derby. I used to watch the Basque derby regularly. I still sometimes manage to watch Bilbao on the regular because I respect them so much for what they do in football. But out of that, I don't watch La Liga much. There is a reason for it. There is a reason for it, man. I'm telling you.
There's a huge drop in quality because in the past we always knew that La Liga was a team that's a very technical team, like a very technical league. While it still remains technical, like right now you can see that the way to winning is now defense. You see, even Zidane's last title was based on defense. Atleti, we already know. Barcelona's title right now is based on defense. You look at a lot of teams, and even you look at teams like Real Betis, man. I mean, let's not forget. Once upon a time, like Getafe was known as a team that played for 44, I think around 42 minutes or 44 minutes against Ajax in the Europa League once upon a time. It's 90 minutes. They played for less than 50% of the time because they were kicking and throwing the ball out.
Just mad, man. How do you do that? You gotta do that in a fucking game. How do they get away with that in real football?
That's the thing. So that's
I
the
don't
thing, like
understand.
the quality has dropped a lot, and hence, like we and also honestly, like the people in there have changed. As I mentioned, like we
It
had
is sad
people
to
that
see.
actually cared,
Mm,
people that
mm,
actually cared, and they were the best at their business. But right now we see how the thing goes. Like Vini is being insulted, and no one really gives a shit about anything, or rather, not being insulted. Being
mm,
assaulted would be the right word. He's been
mm.
assaulted, and literally no one, is
I
giving a
I
shit, bro.
actually watch guys like Matisse, like those guys are friends, yeah. But I watch them on the regular, and when I hear them talk so low about La Liga, even though I fucking hate La Liga at this moment in time, I feel insulted because we represent La Liga. We are
Yep.
the biggest representation out there of La Liga as a league. So when I listen to Premier League guys, talk down La Liga, it hurts. But at the same time, how can you disagree with them, right? You can't. You
Bro, I
can't.
don't know if you saw this or not, but the PFA in England, the Professional
Mm,
Football Association in England, which is an association of professional footballers in England, they sent out a tweet supporting Vinicius. I'm not sure if the guys in Spain have done that yet. At the time they sent
yeah,
out the tweet, the players in
I
Spain
saw that.
haven't even done that. Bro,
Yeah.
even Benzema had not even done that. I don't even know if Benzema had done that. So I mean, they rightly they will tell you that we have the back of your player, even when his own teammates don't have the back. So those guys have the
Mm,
the spine to talk shit, man. Because one way or another, like they obviously, yeah, there's racism in England, but as I think was it Dennis the Great or Saliba, they were saying like it's more, you would be called out for your bullshit, man. You will be
mm.
called out for your bullshit. So that's the thing, but it's different in Spain, obviously. Obviously, different demographics, different group of immigrants as well. But it is what it is, man. Anyways, man, as you said, let's just go into the whole Rayo thing, man. This is a non-ending discussion.
Yeah.
It's a
The,
look
the,
that,
the, the,
that
this will need a fucking week.
exactly, man.
I don't think
Exactly.
even a week would suffice. But if the Mohammadi, he's in the chat, he says when the red card is removed, he's available for tomorrow. Apparently, I didn't know that. Might have been
Really?
something recent. Yeah, I'm not sure. Just double check, Farouk, yeah, if you can on Madrid Extra. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's,
man,
it's,
we talked about almost an hour regarding this is why I despise talking about racism, because we all know we are just gonna bounce off points, but nothing's gonna come good off it. Um, yeah, man. Talking about the game, Rayo tomorrow, another derby. We all remember very fondly what happened away at Rayo around December, where it was a brilliant game, but we lost, and in my opinion, basically started our downward spiral. um from there on in, like I knew something was up, especially in the league. Our inconsistencies were catching up to us. um the reverse fixture rolls around and we are basically playing for nothing. Champions League football is confirmed. Out of the semi-final in the Champions League, won the Copa del Rey, but yeah, the timing took out any sort of real joy out of the occasion. But talk to me, Farouk. Yeah, like you gotta help me with the Rayo prep. Um, Fran Garcia obviously is the protagonist tomorrow, because
yep.
he's going to be joining us in a couple of months. Before we talk about Fran Garcia, talk to me about their team, man. Who do you think can hurt us? I just know that they lost two back to back against Betis and Espanyol the past couple of weeks. But yeah, man, take it away.
Yeah, man. I mean, they have I mean, actually, they have two very antagonists that I love always playing against Real Madrid. But I will start with the key one, which is Radamel Falcao. Like, no matter how
Is
bad,
he
I mean,
fit
I
now?
think he was on the bench last game. He actually played. He played
Mm,
them in the last game. So like Falcao, whatever it is, like even if he's on one leg or one hand, even if he comes in the game, no matter the shape or whatever the scoreline will be, he always finds a way, to get one past us. And given the fact that we don't keep clean sheets at all, so yeah, man. I mean, I would be worried of of that. But also, they have RDT as well. The former Spanish striker. The guy who was touted to maybe join us at one point in time. So
he's a Fabrica product, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's a Fabrica
Mm,
product. So that's why actually I said, like, they have two players who always scored against us. That how the curse with us is, like, the guys who go always come back to haunt us. So like, RDT is also someone that, would has the potential to hurt us, and he actually netted in the last game as well, though it was a defeat.
Mm.
He netted in the last game against his former team Espanyol. So like those are people that I will really keep an eye out for. As you said, also like Fran Garcia is always dangerous. Coming from the wing, and he's gonna want to prove something. Against us. So I would really be worried about those two guys. And more importantly, actually, the record with Rayo actually isn't that too impressive. For the
Mm.
last 5 games, we've won 3, they've lost 2. They've won 2 as well. So
Oh,
it's almost neck to neck. It's quite it's going to be quite interesting again. And it's a derby, so anything can literally happen in a derby as well. So it's a game. I think it's a game to watch, honestly, because I
mm.
feel like coming back of all what happened at Valencia with all the emotions being high, and
Yeah.
losing the game, and what is not. So like the
Mm.
team will want to come back and respond as
I,
strongly as they can.
I think that kind of adds a little fire in an otherwise, like senseless game, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
Because
Um,
I believe not just the players, and the good things are it's at the Bernabeu, so I think both the players and the fans will be so fired up, and so filled with fury emotionally. So I think it's gonna create a very, very strong atmosphere. And as I said, it's a derby as well, so it will even make the atmosphere much more hostile. So I believe it should be a game that could be of interest, something very
mm,
interesting to watch.
mm. Right. Dennis the Great was saying, yeah, we got bet by Rayo because our players were thinking about the World Cup. That game got me angry. Do you remember that, Farouk? My God.
Yeah. I remember that.
That was just hard to watch, man. Those couple of games before the World Cup, we just completely were on the beach, like we didn't fucking bother. All that little stuff, man, that costs us the league. Yeah, simple as.
Yeah, that's very valid, man. Honestly, I mean that period actually, just right before the World Cup, that was when the drift started actually, and then after the World Cup as well, it took us a bit to also gather our shit together, but that was where the drift started to happen actually.
Mm. Right. A little look into Rayo again before we kind of get to our team and how we would like to, our team to set up. This guy, Isi Palazon, if I'm not mistaken.
Palazzo.
Yeah, he is a brilliant player. He has been getting some much deserved recognition from the league as a whole, from rivals as well. He's super efficient, man. Like whenever I've seen him, I've seen very little of him, but whenever I've seen him, like he does everything. Like he reminds me of Di Maria. Raw energy, like can play inside, can play out wide. Got neat little shooting boots as well. Yeah, man. For me, I think we have to watch out for Issy obviously, and Comasana as well. In midfield, those guys are pretty exceptional players in their in their roles for Rayo. Who else? Oscar Trejo, yeah, very good player. Lehuene, very good defender. Katana as well. Like they got a good squad, man. I think 11th is not really good for them. They should be doing better.
Actually, they started very brightly and very strongly, and all of a sudden they just slowly faded away. Actually, I don't know why that's the case, but yeah. I think it was similar as well for them last season as well. They started very strongly and they were in for a shout, to qualify for Europe at a point in time, and bit by bit also they faded away as well.
They missed Falcao. Like even if he's on one leg, he is a guaranteed goal scorer. Like he has he basically survives on sniffing out chances and basically burying them. Falcao as a legend of the game. Like I'm surprised, like I was so pleasantly surprised that when he joined Rayo, donning the number 3 shirt, that was intimidating, to say the least. Also, Diego Lopez is on their bench. Is he a second choice keeper at Rayo? Did he play against us in the reverse fixture earlier?
I can't remember, but I think he's the second choice right now.
Yeah,
I think he was. He was on the bench even against us as well in the reverse fixture.
have only good things to say about Diego Lopez. Like
Definitely.
when things were going to shit, like I hung on to him. I still remember, hung on to my dear life. Save us, Diego, and he was really good, man. Very underrated as a keeper. Um, but yeah, Rayo stuff aside, let's get to our team, man. I expect Cruz and Modric to get back into the lineup
Yeah,
in
definitely.
midfield. Ceballos, do you think he keeps his place from Sunday?
I think Kamavinga goes in there.
Fair enough, right? That midfield, I think, can do the job. It should do the job against Rayo. I mean, if it can't do the job now, I don't understand. Like it's weak. But quickly moving about to the back line. Mendy keeps his place after that horror show.
I mean, the point is there is nothing to play for, so you want to, put Mendy into the. I mean, he plays himself into form, so that's the thing,
Yeah.
So into form and full fitness, more importantly. So I think he continues to play. I think.
Right. Centre backs. Rudiger, Militao again, or would you want to try someone like Nacho?
I mean, the point is, we have 2 more games, so I guess we have 1 more game. So I think maybe they might wanna, play with Nacho for the. I don't know if it's his last game or not. But yeah, man, I would just want to build on that partnership, have that continuity, because honestly, right now it's a time to, be flexible and try to get things done. So I don't know how the coach is going to think about it, but I really will want us to really, build something there, because I've always said, the thing is that the partnership we had with Militao and Alba wasn't built overnight. Let's not forget, at the beginning it was a bit shaky, and bit by bit, it's built up as well. So I really want to, because Militao and this have to get those chances, like to. Oh, I think Sunaid is back. Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Sunaid is back. Yeah, loud and clear, man. Loud and clear.
Did our recording stop or something? Nothing, right?
No, it's going. Actually, I was just saying, I was actually just saying, like, I really want, to build on the partnership. Either it's being, with Militao and, Rudiger, or Militao and Alaba. But I think right now it's going to be Militao and Rudiger. So I will want to continue that, honestly. But on the other hand, as well, I was saying, like, because Nacho might leave or might not leave. We don't know what's going to happen. So maybe, you want to give him like a farewell tour or something like that, in front of the fans and all that. I know we still have a couple of games more, but,
who are you talking about, by the way?
Nacho. For the center
Nacho, man. Yeah, I've been reading a lot of stuff about Nacho and how he hasn't basically responded to an offer. It'll be heartbreaking, man. Like, similar to Casemiro, my God, like, I wouldn't be able to recover from that either. Like, Casemiro still hurts, like, Nacho will be a proper, loss, man. Like, why can't the club convince him when we see performances like what Rudiger fucking did for like good 3-4 months, where he was a headless chicken? I don't understand. I don't understand, man. Like, how does he get a better? I'm pretty sure he's gonna get offered lesser money. I'm not sure how much he's on. I don't think he's even on like 200K. I don't think so. But even then, he's gonna maybe get a more prominent role elsewhere. But the amount of respect, the amount of meaningful contribution that he can offer us, especially his versatility, it's gonna be a huge miss, man. How do we replace that?
Actually, the thing is that it's all about that, star power and what is not. So if you're not, bringing selling the jerseys and being the star name, the person that's gonna attract the fans, so these are things that the club consider while making this offer as well. So
I don't understand, man. Nacho will be a huge loss, and I don't see people like Rafa Marin getting propped up to get promoted. Those guys in Castilla, like, I don't know what's going to happen to them, honestly. But I think Nacho should stay for at least one more season. Yeah, man. So back to the defense. So Mendy keeps his place and the centre back pairing would be Militao, Rudiger again.
Yeah, exactly. Militao, Rudiger.
That's what you reckon, yeah? Like I hope Nacho gets. But even then, like if you go and look to Nacho in this game, which doesn't make any sense, it'll come off as disrespectful again. Because honestly, bro, in my opinion, ever at the Etihad, like I wanted Nacho at left back. I wanted Nacho left back, especially when we didn't have Mendy. But it is what it is. I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. Right back, do you think Lucas Vazquez keeps his place?
I think he keeps his place because like there is nothing to fight for, and like I think Carval has played a lot, so I think he keeps his place.
Thibaut picks himself. The attack,
exactly.
Vinny, Benzema, Rodrigo again, or do you want to go for Asensio from the start?
Vinny is suspended, no?
People say the red card is rescinded, no?
I don't know, man. I checked, so I couldn't find anything saying that, man.
Oh, so it's not official, yeah? Okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
Could be unofficial.
Okay. So if Vinny doesn't start, then Rodrigo, Benzema, Asensio?
Actually, there is something, bro. Wow, there is something. There is a lot of things, man.
What happened?
So Vinny's red card has been annulled. He can play tomorrow. And then official, so the
sanctions,
yeah. They will close the Mario Kempes stand for 5 games. And they fined Valencia 45k.
45k, yeah. If the Mohammadi was in the chat, he was telling us.
Yeah. Well, I think this is good, man. This is good. This is good.
Mario Kempes, one of the greats. You know, look at his name being tarnished. What for? What for, man? What for, bro? I don't understand. Tas Saliba says, let's see if we will be able to bait him. I think he's talking about Nacho. Yeah, man. I hope a better bait, who will be found out to, like keep him with us, man. Hassan says, Mr. Reliable, he needs to stay. Yeah, Nacho. Like I'm here for Nacho prop all day. Ashik is back, man. Very late, bro. Where have you been? You're basically at the tail end of the episode, but nice to see you, bro. Ashik, he says, Vinny's red card hasn't been rescinded yet. It's not official. Okay.
It's not official, but Madrid Estra actually tweeted it, so I want to believe that they have, some very good reliable sources.
Let's hope so. XJ says
because it's from Sanchez. It's from Jose Luis Sanchez. Like it's I think and he's tied tier 1. So yeah, I want to believe that.
JLS might be true. XJ says I hope Nacho doesn't leave, but I can see why he would consider it. He is not respected. 100% agree, man. You saw what he did last year. How can people forget last year? I don't understand. If he does and we don't sign an elite centre back, we won't.
So the thing is this, like I think like once he once gave an interview and he said like it's not about the money, it's about the playing time. You understand? Nacho has been a faithful servant for how long? The point is at this point right now, Nacho doesn't start for Real Madrid. He's gonna continue to be an impact player, a rotation player.
I think, in my humble opinion, he should be one of the first option from the bench. But
yeah, valid. I agree with you. He should be one of the first options from the bench, but it's still from the bench. The point is he goes to every team right now and he starts. Every team except for Real Madrid, he starts. Even Barcelona. Barcelona are playing Alonso as a centre back, man. Don't forget this.
And their own fans hate him so much, They hate
him. So
that's
what I'm saying. Like he goes to other 19 La Liga teams, he starts.
Yeah.
So for him, this is what he is looking for, that commitment to starting, you understand? So totally I can understand. I mean, yeah, from a selfish perspective, obviously, we want Nacho to stay 100% because he's the player, that epitomizes what you want, like, about Real Madrid. Because the point is, he's a humble person. He doesn't complain. You ask him to do this, he does it to the best of his ability. He whatever, like, he defends the club to the best of his limits, you understand? And he doesn't complain. So this is the kind of person.
Carlo, mister, if you're listening, like you need to invite him for dinner. Sit down, smoke a couple of cigars, sort the fuck out. Honestly, it is about time because like what XA says at the end of his comment here, we'll undoubtedly feel the impact next season. I can't agree with that any more, man. Like it's peak if Nacho leaves us. Ashik says, sorry for the delay, Sunait. It's not Sunait. I hope you know my name spelling. Yeah, I'm always here to disagree with Farouk. Yeah, man.
I mean,
Farouk hate. I'm up for it.
I
You
miss
know.
Ashik as well, man. Like, I mean, when we were having the whole debate earlier, man, like his inputs were very, very, although like, yeah, we don't always agree, but I mean, the point is, he's my
Yeah,
G, man. He's the
yeah.
OG, man. Like, we roll together with Ashik, man.
Ashik is definitely one of the OGs, and you see, man, how like when Ashik comes, there's so much more stuff to talk. Like because he has
I
always.
mean, bro, I am always waiting, like when we go on the either post match or pre matches, Ashik always has this anecdote of the coach that relates to something out of the blue.
Yeah,
So, like, those quotes are there. I'll truly get to
his
that.
analogies are also like number one. Yeah, numero uno. Some of his analogies, like if you remember, like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah,
even
yeah,
remember
man.
like perfectly, but I remember it being very outlandish. So it definitely catches your attention, and then you're hooked. You want more. Hassan says Valencia are pissed about the fines and part of the stadium getting shut down. If the Mohammadi says even Romano confirmed it as well. I think he's talking about the Vinicius red card thing.
Yeah.
Might be true. Ashik says Valencia has no right to be upset about anything. There are bigger things in life than football. You can't treat a fellow human like that. They need to grow out of their colonial mentality. Bang on. XJ says respectfully, the Mestalla is the toilet. You shouldn't have used the word respectfully. Yeah, it should be shut down completely for its own sake. One of those stadiums that has something about it. I used to dread going out to the Mestalla, man. Very few stadiums
Yep.
in world football really gives you that fear factor, and Mestalla is one of them. I would be very sad to see it gone. But for the people who infest the stands, I've nothing to say about them, man. Honestly, but the front line, if Vinicius is back, Vinicius starts. Vinny, Rodrigo, Benzema for you.
Honestly, I really will want Vinicius to start because I think he deserves all the love I believe he's gonna get from the fan base. I mean, not for
Mm.
the game itself, honestly,
Yeah, yeah,
just for that support. Because honestly, like, I mean, we like as you said, so like the point is we're very close to him in age gap, so we know what it is to be in that situation. Obviously, like he's in a more privileged situation than we are. But we all moved to a foreign country at a very young age, you understand, without any support, nothing. But as I said, like he's in a very, very well, privileged position, but you know how much you need that affection, that arm around your shoulder, how that
mm,
person to guide you. So I wanna, because he's just 22, he's gonna be 23 soon. So I really want that the club and the crowd to show a lot of affection to him, and at least I know that doesn't solve anything definitely, but at least that that show of support will improve his morale, and at least
hundred
elevate.
percent.
Yeah.
100%. Like I didn't expect him to break like that yesterday. Like I was shook. Like when I saw um pictures of him crying, that's when I actually like that really broke my heart. Up until then, like I was like usual me, nothing phases me, nothing's gonna phase me. But yeah, that phased me. Um, right then, I guess we are pretty much at the end of the preview, man. I hope we can get something away from tomorrow. The result doesn't exactly matter, but for Vinicius and for the whole hangama that happened, on Sunday, I hope we put out a blistering performance and blow Rayo away at home. Give fans something to cheer about, in an otherwise very, very disappointing season. I would like to stress this again. We all know this. This is common knowledge. This season is a failure. 22-23 was a failure. In totality, there has been some bright moments. There has been some redemption arcs here and there. But in totality, it's a failure. The stuff that we need, we have mentioned it so many times, I don't think we need to talk about it anymore. The club knows, the fans knows what we need. I hope these couple of games give us a bit more insight into what we are looking like heading into next season, which will be very crucial. Probably the last year of the big guns, Benzema, Kroos, Modric, etc. So yeah, man, next year it is about time that we completely turn around our reputation of now being like also runs. That is the reality. We are
Yeah.
literally also
Yep.
runs.
Yep.
And that is not something that I associate with this club. With this club that has done so much in the world of football. The all-conquering Real Madrid should be back next season. Otherwise, it's peak. Honestly, otherwise we are basically admitting that we have lowered our standards due to, I don't know, economic reasons, political reasons. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but next season we have to get back to the very, very top. Anything short of that, second place is a failure. Semi-final in the Champions League, absolutely fucking failure. People can be delusional, but I'm telling you the truth. It is a failure to get knocked out of the semi-final. Yes, it's less heartbreaking than losing at the final, but come on, man. When we get a chance to get to the semi-final, we have to make sure we make the final. Otherwise,
definitely.
City fans, they'll have one more story to tell their grandkids about. We shouldn't offer them any more chances, in my humble opinion. But Farooq, man, any more thoughts?
No, man, that's just the thing, man. It's been a very, very down season, and it's sad that it's even coming to an end in such a way with the whole Vinicius thing as well. But I think that just that situation just summarizes our whole season. I want to believe that, honestly, if we were winning, it would have been a different thing. I genuinely want to believe that. I understand, and that losing and being in such a situation, we're actually third in the league now as well. That also adds to that frustration as well. But as you said, man, we have to just go in the off season, reset our batteries and come back. We live to fight around that. And as I said before, it's there is higher chance than none that we are here again fighting for everything, or rather fighting, at the deep end of the season for the Champions League and what is not. And as you said, when we go to Champions League semi-finals, we have to get to the finals. So we don't have to just show up there for the attendance and what is not. And more importantly, as well, we have to, come back much more stronger and be more consistent in the league next year, honestly. And because I also think it's going to be the end for the guys next year as well, as you mentioned. As also, we need to try to end it all on the high, with a fantastic send off.
100%. Ashik, with a few comments here. There's nothing noble about being better than your fellow man. True nobility is in better than your former self. Hope the fans learn from this and be better. Ashik says, we won the World Cup and the King's Cup. Yeah, the World Cup, really. Hassan says, let's hope 23-24 is better with Zizou or Nagelsmann on the sideline. Not a fan of Nagelsmann, man, honestly. I don't know about Nagelsmann. I don't get the hype. Ashik says, Sunaid is right. Real Madrid is a victim of their own success. Anything short of big titles, La Liga and the Champions League is always a failure. Reis Birak, nice to see again. Reis, City fan. Big up Sunaid and Farooq. Love the channel and appreciate the respect towards City. It's off topic, but just a quick question. Do you think we get the treble done, Farooq? These guys, man. These guys, honestly, they have the audacity to ask it to us after doing that to us last week.
Exactly.
Yeah. What should we tell you? What should we tell you?
Bro. Yeah, bro, come and rub salt in the wounds, man. It's cool, man. What can we say, man? It's cool. Well, anyways, man, I'm just kidding, man. Back to your question, man. Nice to have you back, man. And honestly, big ups to you, coming over to our team, although it's totally unrelated to your club and what is not. But you guys have had a fantastic season, and I actually do think you guys are overwhelming favorites to win the UCL. However, I actually have this feeling in my mind that Ten Hag and United are actually going to destroy the treble. I genuinely have that feeling.
I think the other side of the coin is the big problem. I think the Champions League is going to come for them.
I think the final is done because I don't just see any chance for Inter Milan. I think the final. I mean, God, man. Honestly, if Pep loses that, all the respect I have for him is gone in half, man. I can understand losing to Chelsea.
Jose Mourinho.
Bro,
Barcelona,
it's Inzaghi, man. It's Inzaghi, man. It's what, bro? Have you seen Mourinho's team, man?
I've shat on Inzaghi so much, right? I don't rate the guy, but for him to be in the final. And for him to, turn around the season from the way they started it, bro, you never know. The game is fun.
The thing is, I'm not saying, Inzaghi is a bad coach or anything. I'm just saying that the best that Inter has to offer is equal to the average of what City will offer.
But you know the thing, not necessarily the best team wins every day. You know the fact, right? It is on a given day.
And I am telling you 90 minutes. In Istanbul on June 10, the best team will win, and the best team is City. Finish, knocked out. I am saying, I said, the thing is, with United, honestly, I don't know why, but I have kind of a little bit of doubt in my mind.
It's a derby. It's a derby.
I actually have a feeling that the FA Cup might be. So I think like the point is that the FA Cup they might lose, and if they lose, it's a wake up call, and they go to the final, and maybe they break a record of the goals scored in a final in the history of the UEFA Champions League final.
What is the record now? The most goals scored.
Conceded? Let's quickly check that.
I think it's a 7-3 against Frankfurt, 1957 Champions League final, 1956, where Puskas scored 4, Stefano scored a hat-trick. I think that's the game. I may be wrong. I'm just going off of my basic knowledge. But yeah, the chances are likely. The firepower that City has up front, man, it's fucking scary. It is a true achievement that we kept out Haaland, over 2 legs.
Yeah. You're right. Actually, it's actually you're right about the 7-3. It was the Real Madrid Frankfurt in the 1960. Yeah, you're right about
1960. Yeah, right. Yeah. One of the greatest, Champions League finals of all time. There's some great footage out there. City fans, if you want to know true heritage, feel free to watch Don Di Stefano, and Puskas. Yes, you heard me right. The OG Puskas Award winner, Ferenc Puskas, ball it out in a 7-3 mauling of Eintracht Frankfurt, the German Eagles. Right, XJ says, so yeah, your question, it's City's trouble to lose, yeah?
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
Yeah. My opinion is the same, but you got to watch out in the Champions League, man. But because I genuinely, after last year's semi-final, I genuinely think there is a force acting against City in the Champions League. So yeah, apart from that, you guys should see it out pretty easy.
There is a force, but it's a situation of an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. So we're gonna see who breaks first.
How many times have we heard that? Hopefully, good football will prevail. With that, I also want to, specify Inter plays damn good football, even though it's defensive and basically, like counter and pray. They have a method to their madness, man. Especially the way they dismantled Milan. I couldn't watch it honestly. It was basically doing a post-mortem with surgical precision. You just knew which organs to hit. These guys, these guys have a way, man. Inter, like that's like if guys like washed up Henrik Mkhitaryan is balling, Inter has a way with dealing with things. XJ says, great preview and podcast. It's been a recent discovery and a highlight for me in this disappointing and at times disgusting season. I hope for greater times in the future. Thanks. Ala Madrid. Thanks for the love, XJ. Honestly, we are glad that you're here with us. I hope you guys actually join us every fucking day, man. Because I've said this on many occasions, and I actually want to reiterate it. The reason why we keep coming back and doing this is because we have a back and forth conversation. This is a two-way street. Now, unless you guys contribute, we are just basically talking to the fucking phone. Or the laptop screen, like it just makes it one-dimensional. You guys are the protagonists. I must stress that makes this podcast what it is. Ashik says City was a deserved winner, and I don't feel ashamed of losing to a worthy winner. There you go,
bro. The way you lost, man, Ashik. What are you talking about?
I would. It's he has to lose, man. He has cooled off after a week. Like he's 40, man. He is like a good 10 years older than us. So,
bro,
he's much more.
Even 2 seasons later, man, I will always remember that defeat, man.
100%. I'm taking this to the fucking grave. Honestly, like people will be asking my kids, hopefully if I have someday, they'll be asking, Dad, like who hurt you the most? I'm gonna say fucking motherfucker Pep Guardiola. That guy, ever since I saw his face, yeah, man, it was always.
And imagine how would you say that, like City will score 4 and Haaland did not score. Oh, actually, Haaland scored the 4th, right? No, did he? He scored the total. No. He didn't score, right?
The 4th one was Alvarez.
Sorry, it was Alvarez. Like, imagine how is that gonna happen? I mean, that's even more shameful, man. I don't know, man. Shit, bro.
But we gotta
And
give
let's
props to.
move on, man. Let's move on,
But we
man.
got to
Let's
give
just move.
props to, the way Haaland basically attracts all the attention away from the others. Lets the others, do the stabbing, if I must say. Ashik says, guys, don't forget Serie A can potentially win all 3 European titles this season. Yeah, Fiorentina. Who else? Inter,
AS
and then
Roma.
Roma.
Mourinho's Roma, yeah.
Roma against who was it?
Sevilla.
Sevilla. Ooh, I'm going to root for Sevilla. I don't understand Javier's hatred for Sevilla, but I honestly think they're fucking European royalty, and I would love for them to win.
I will never root against Mourinho, man, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Mourinho is a factor.
Jose, man.
Obviously, Mourinho is a factor. Yeah, now I'm
Well,
in two minds.
It's Sevilla's trophy, man. So
Basically, yeah.
Exactly, man. So
I saw the second leg against Juve at the Sanchez Pizjuan, and Juve created so many good chances.
So many, man. So many, honestly. So many. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, they have that thing with them, like that. This is just our game, and you cannot beat us.
They have know-how.
Exactly. Know-how. Exactly. That's the term. Know-how. Honestly, know-how.
Like Sevilla actually keeps selling players and basically, plugging the holes and keep doing this shit.
Bro, like you look at the team, bro. It's Brian Hill of Spurs, man.
Brian Hill.
It's Brian Hill, man. Like the guy literally like I don't know, man. So that's the thing. Like honestly, it's just as you said, it's know-how, man. After a certain point, it becomes know-how.
He reminds me of a younger Ron in the Harry Potter film franchise. A younger Rupert Grint, Brian Hill. Reese says, I agree. Think United will be tougher, but Inter and the cup ties have a decent record. They do. Reese says, always know Madrid have 14 Champions Leagues. I hope that cheers you up. I mean, after a point, it gets fucking old. like honestly, it's like getting married to Shakira. Yeah, you might, ogle at her for an year. I'll do for a year. Okay, some might do fine with a week, but I'll ogle at her for a year. From the second year onwards, yeah, she's Shakira, man. Obviously, I have the sexiest wife in the world, but it is what it is. Similar stuff, Champions League is in the closet. It looks nice, looks fine. Steve posted stories of its of the stadium tour and whatnot. Looks fine, but unless we add to it, it is a fucking failure, man. Ashik says Champions League final is a one-off game, so anything is possible. Hassan says United with De Gea in goal. Haaland is licking his lips. My God, De Gea is a fucking abomination. The amount of shit that I had to hear from my mates, the United fans when I was in uni, claiming that, you guys are fucked, Keylor Navas, who is that guy? Who is that Bengali? That's what he used to say. Who is that Bengali in goal for Real Madrid? Like, what is he going to do? This is again racism, yeah, because Bengali is basically how do you put it? That's just the way people from my state in India look down upon people. They just say Bengali to belittle, guys. So that used to be the thing. Now, De Gea, the goals that he lets in, did you see the goal that he let in against West Ham?
I saw, yeah.
Who was the goal scorer?
I think it was Benrahma, I think. He was
Benrahma. How do you manage to do that, man? How, bro? Inexplainable. Is it input delay? Is it lag like in FIFA? I don't understand. Jack MCFC. Jack MCFC. What happened to the humbling? Jack, relax. You guys won. Very deserved winners. 4-0. But you got to remember, we are fucking European royalty, yeah? So if anybody deserves humbling, it's you guys. It's you guys who are actually harping up about, winning, 3 back-to-back. We are coming for the Champions League, blah, blah, blah. You did your talk, yeah? Now show us the walk, man. Win it like us for 3 years in a row. Maybe I'll big you up. But even then, you'll be 3 against 14. So Manchester City, respect the club. I respect what you did in the past decade or so. But you got to understand that we are above anyone. I'm telling you, we are above City. We are above United, Liverpool, Milan, anyone. I should repeat that we are fucking God in football, yeah? Simple as.
Yep.
So we'll show our chest, man. If you can't face it, unfortunately, you're at the wrong place. Ashik says, if you're disappointed about this season, remember what Sly said. It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and get back up. This is why we win. We always come back. Yeah. Jack MCFC says, serious question. Why is your away following so bad considering the size of the team? I think he's mentioning about Etihad. I don't know, see, I don't think every fucking match going Real Madrid fan or Madridista would necessarily travel to London. It's more of a global fan situation where there'll be so many Madridistas in London who will be watching their team for the first time. But if I remember, away games in the Premier League has seen some very rousing fan attendances. Like if I do specifically remember the Chelsea first leg last year, Farouk, the fans were pretty fucking loud.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true actually. I don't know, maybe that depends also, about the difference in culture. I don't know, or also maybe it can also be about the number of allocation that City has given to Real Madrid for the game as well. That can also be
I was hearing chants all throughout the game.
Can be as well. And also the thing is that honestly, like, there was nothing to at least for my side, like there was nothing to chant to, man. Like we didn't play.
I think the fans did themselves proud, man. Honestly, in the 4-0 thrashing, I still remember even when we were 3-0 down, fans were chanting. Fans were still believing. So I don't know. Maybe Jack MCFC is getting intimidated by all the empty head talk. They have to show themselves that they're the best fans in the fucking world. We get you, man. This is your year. There's something special about Etihad nowadays. I respect it. I see it.
Definitely. I see it. I mean that's the thing. Like when a fan who is watching from the TV can actually feel the atmosphere of the stadium, that the fans are doing something. And honestly, last year it was similar as well, because I remember the games against Atleti as well. It was similar, and honestly, this year it's even become more consistent. And I think honestly, like City are starting to write a history in Europe. Like when they all come and you have no history and nothing. City are starting to write themselves, among those big guys, and because I think they've been in the semi-final, I think for 4 times now. I think in the past 7-8 years or something like this. So like they're honestly like coming to the big boys table. Honestly, when it comes to European football, so. Yeah, man. I mean, the more the merrier. But as you said, man, even when they come to the big boys table, they're gonna find just one king on the round table also. So
100%. Reese asks us, what are Madrid fans' thoughts on Mourinho? Then obviously win the Champions League with Madrid, but won a league with 100 points. Farouk has always, praised him so much. I'm a huge fan of the guy. Farouk, if you want to add something regarding Mourinho.
I mean, I think the thing is that, what he has to have, maybe because he's a City fan, he doesn't notice. But before Mourinho came, Real Madrid had gone out in the round of 16, I think, for 5 consecutive seasons or 6 consecutive seasons, And one of those seasons includes the time we had Cristiano as well, you understand? We had just, a disjointed team and what is not. And I think the key thing there is that there was this mental block, There was this mental block, honestly. So I believe that, Mourinho came with his charisma and, the enthusiasm, and actually he instilled confidence in the players. He pushed them onto because
and it actually took a year and a half, because I still remember my first Clásico. We looked a shadow of ourselves, man.
It took time. Honestly, it took time. But the point is, we're reaping the fruit of that team till today, because 100%. I believe that the foundation he built then is what we have till now. And I genuinely believe that in 2012 we were the best team in the world.
100%.
Honestly,
nobody
will disagree
with you.
That's the most painful exit we've ever made in the UCL. That's the most the most embarrassing in City, but the most painful was that, because you literally had Kaká missing, you had Cristiano missing, you had Ramos missing. These are people who never missed penalties in their life.
Yeah.
It was
for me personally, the Dortmund one was much more of a dagger into my fucking heart. The Bayern one, at least I could take away. I could take something away from the game. Just claiming it was penalties, and in a shootout anything can happen. But the Dortmund stung more. But yeah, man, Mourinho, He's a guy that is looked up to so much, in our club. Right. What else? What else? XJ answering Jack. I think Spanish away culture isn't as strong as that of the English or Dutch, for example, but the home support is some of the best in Europe. Look at Real Betis. Right. Yeah. Jack says something. I get that, but we gave you 3,000 seats and you only sold out one section. Pretty poor. I'd expect more. And Jack, MCFC goes to every game, home and away. I was at the Bernabeu a few weeks ago. Nice ground, lot of booing. Hell, a lot of booing. LOL. 100%, man. We don't welcome away teams. Well. I can watch for that. I haven't been to the Bernabeu yet. We get mocked at for that. I've seen so many guys get mocked. For not actually going. Going to watch their teams. It is not financially feasible for every single person in this whole wide world. So yeah, man. If you also can accept the opinion of a guy who passionately supports his team for over 10 years, even behind the fucking screen, I would tell you that we would love to be there, but it's just a matter of money, convenience, time, all of that. Right. Dennis says, for me, 2011 was too painful, losing to Barcelona in the semi-finals. That 2011 side, I saw that game, yeah? I mean, there was no chance. No fucking chance. We had Ramos play in CDM for the second leg. Man, so much going on. So many attempts to, pull out something. But we knew, Barcelona didn't even have to be at their best. Pass to Messi. That's it.
Exactly.
Kalas. Game over. Game over, bro. Game over. Don't remind me, man. Don't remind me. That was a good 12 years ago. I was still in, high school. Life was good. Don't remind me of the,
I think that was the season. I think we played Barcelona 5 times or 6 times. And like we kind of, we played the Champions League semi-final, home, away. There was a league game, and then there was a Copa as well, the Copa final with the Cristiano header. So it was. I mean, that final was, I don't know, man. Honestly, it was a very, very. I don't think you can ever describe that feeling, because after you've lost 5-0 to Barca, they eliminated you in the UCL.
That header was worth everything. I felt like winning the fucking World Cup. It was the fucking Copa del Rey. It was honestly so special. Jack MCFC says that's the thing with global fan bases. They have a lot of fans all around who can't afford. It's just one of those things. I respect that. I respect what you just said, man. But yeah, man, please educate your fellow lot. For educate them that not everybody is so privileged. Unfortunately, Reis Virak says, Real best Madrid win in the Champions League if you had to pick one. Right. Interesting. Farooq, I would let you go first.
I'm actually thinking. Maybe the game against Wolfsburg might be one of the best victories I actually enjoyed.
Mm.
The Cristiano hat trick.
I still remember that feeling. Goosebumps, just literal goosebumps. Just remember.
I mean that, or I don't know, the Juve game as well. Where the Juve game, because it was a complete game, and then we went to the second leg and we did stupidity, man. Fuck. You remember the one where Vasquez had to fabricate a penalty for us to
if it was a guy with little more physicality and height, that's never a pen.
Exactly. I will choose the Wolfsburg game, because we were 2-0 down after coming from Germany.
Some fucking idiots, they used to say, "Oh, that guy, he's definitely match fixing." He basically, opened up his arm for the ball to go in. I was like, guys, like, are you even fucking sane? Because that happens in a split second, yeah. To exactly anticipate where the ball is gonna come and exactly open up your arm in the shape of a fucking A. I don't understand. These guys are, literally brainless. But for me personally, nothing beats 2014, man. La Decima, bro. Nothing ever comes close. Ever. No matter how many Champions Leagues we win, no matter how many trebles we win, we have never won a treble, yeah? That moment, Nothing's gonna match it. Nothing's gonna match it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Well,
when I die, I've heard a lot of stuff that, when you die, life flashes in front of you. That'll be played in its full glory. I'm pretty sure, because I'll never forget 90 to 48. Right. Yeah, man, Reese, I hope we answered your question. Jack MCFC says, if I didn't live near the ground, I wouldn't be able to afford it because of the price of, yeah. Ashik says, much respect to any old school City fans, those who stuck with the team through relegation and humiliation while watching United win titles. Well deserved and good times for you guys after much suffering. 100%. That's why Steve gets so much respect, because he's an OG, not a bandwagoner. That is a great says that 2011 Copa del Rey final was so dead the game. Then Ronaldo came with a piece of magic. Yeah, it was so nail biting, cagey stuff. Nothing, no clear cut chances for either sides. Right. Jack M60 says, we like to boast a lot because of what we have been through the 90s. We were awful, and now this is our time. I 100% agree. That's why we can accept, Big Steve showing chest. That's why when so many of you guys fans were coming after us, in the preview we did on his channel, I was so tempted to, say something back, but I just understood, what it meant for City as a club, that result, we got to take some happiness in making someone else happy, right, Farooq? Yeah. That's a silver lining. No. Please reassure me, bro. No.
Nah, man. Nah. We should just be straight through, bro.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, last couple of comments that I read, Farooq is going to fucking kill me. It's been over 1.5 hours, this preview. There is a great, that Juve 2015 second leg did get me pissed, man. I can't believe we didn't win nothing that season, and we would have.
Oh, that's true, man. That's the season of Chicharito.
Oh,
if
yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. We would have won La Liga that season.
Maybe you can remember, like, Chicharito was the one who scored against Atleti, and we went to the semis against Juve, and Morata eliminated us. It was the season of the Morata Tevez Pogba team. Oh, that
Khedira scored a goal for us, I remember.
Yeah, that was a very, very painful one, honestly. That season we had so many injuries problems, actually.
Modric, big one. Modric was
because
out.
I think Benzema was also problematic. Ronaldo was also in and out. Bale totally was not there. So I did. Wow, yeah, it was a crazy, because that was a season where we won actually 22 games. We won 22
24 games on the trot, if I'm not mistaken. Or 22. You're right.
22. We won 22 consecutive games around the January-ish, and then the streak was broken, and then shit got,
Yeah, and then MSN won the fucking treble. They are still regarded as the greatest trio when BBC, after that showed them who is boss. Reese, yes, Modric got injured in 2015. The short-haired Modric. One of the only seasons where you can see Modric, sporting a short haircut. Right. Dennis Gray says, La Decima will always be a greatest memory as a Madrid fan. 100%. Reis was asking, did Casillas have a world-class game in the Copa final, if my memory is correct? It's been over 12 years. I can't really remember. I don't really remember. He might have, because
I think there was a chance for Pedro before Cristiano scored. Maybe I may remember wrongly.
They had chances. There was a
very good chance for Pedro. I can't. Maybe I might remember the player wrong, but there was a very good chance for a player which wasn't Messi, and Casillas saved it. So I think maybe that might, because it really was a very, very good save, and then Cristiano scored. So that could be.
Jack, okay, so Jack, if you're watching, I need a favor from you. I just see your comment here. Steve is a legend. He lives pretty close to me, lol. So I'm pretty sure Steve is not watching. Steve's not gonna watch this preview. But Jack, if you can please message me on our Instagram, on our socials. Instagram is best, yeah. Just DM us, because I need to ask you a favor, basically, right? If you could help me out with something, because I would like to get Steve something, because he has shown us so much love. He's one of those people who has always helped us out, no matter what. So I would like to, get him something as a sign of gratitude I don't know. It'll be too cheesy to say it out loud, but I have so much love and respect for the man. If I ask him directly, that would basically spoil the surprise. You know what I mean, Jack? So if I can have your help in getting something simple, nothing big, maybe a jersey, maybe a retro kit or something for Steve, that would be great, man, Jack. So if you can do that, please DM us on Instagram, and pick up yourselves, honestly. Um, Right. XJ says Ramos DM versus Juve, and people think another pep thrashing can phase me. That Barca treble darkened my summer. Yeah, the Ramos DM shit was again done in the 2015 semi as well. Yeah, sometimes that just didn't make sense to me. But yeah, man, we are doing overtime after overtime. Ashik says, okay, last one, 96-97 Real Madrid 1-0. Juve. Imagine seeing your team lift the Champions League first time in your lifetime after 30 plus years. Can't beat that. Long wait for some, first time for many. I think Ashik saw that. That would have been special. I was 2. Farouk wasn't born. Farouk, was he born? Was Farouk born in 97, 96, 97?
That was the year I was born, actually.
Okay. So he's a fetus, right, Ashik? So yeah, man. Excuse us, bro. That is great. Says that Barcelona treble in 2015 pissed me off more than the 2009 sextuple that we bottled La Liga and went out sad in the Champions League. Right? Yeah, MSN was hard to watch, man. Absolutely hard to watch. Yeah. So Jack, if you can help me out, bro, I'll appreciate it so much. Yeah. Please help us out. If you can. It wouldn't be something that you have to go out of your way to do. I'll make sure that it is something very straightforward. But I want to do something for Steve. But until next time, people also just basic housekeeping. Do show some love to our partners on Instagram, Real Madrid Committee. They run a brilliant Real Madrid fan page. The link is in the description. Also, big up all of you guys who support us over our audio platforms. We are over 24K, if I'm not mistaken, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and whatnot. We are over 730 followers on Spotify as well. So many of you guys have sent in messages regarding feedback, love, critical. Criticisms and whatnot. Keep doing that. Keep showing us that what we do make a difference. And like what Reese Birak says, man, hit the like button, smash the like button, and subscribe. On the road to 1K. Any love is appreciated, people, and please be here whenever you get a chance to make this conversation a two-way street. Until next time, I hope we get the job done tomorrow. I don't care about the game, but yeah, man, much love to Vinicius. I hope we see the light of the day regarding whatever he's going through. But yeah, man, until next time, Ala Madrid.